Good morning, Giants Nation, G-Man fans. What is going on? Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone enjoyed their weekend. Hope it was relaxing enough for everyone. Nothing really too much news to break. Actually, no news really to break at all. There is a player in particular, though, that I want to talk about and discuss real quick while I'm driving to work. Tight end. Tight end. The word of the day is tight end. Now, for at least my generation, I'm in my early 30s, so I'd say anywhere from late 20s, 30s, and maybe early 40s. Our generational tight end growing up was Jeremy Shockey. Now, he was a beast. He came out of the University of Miami, and he came out headhunting. He would run people over. He was all tatted up, giving the finger after plays to guys, yapping in their mouth, jawing at them. My fondest memory of Jeremy Shockey was when I was watching the Giants-Eagles game with my late great-uncle, and it was a close game. Vaca Collins at the Giants at the Eagles, probably 10-yard line, getting ready to score. Kerry Collins threw up a nice little fade in the back of the end zone to Shockey, being covered by Hall of Famer Brian Dawkins. Shockey ripped the ball out of Dawkins' hands, grabbed the touchdown, ended up falling to the ground on top of Dawkins, and then meanwhile insisted on yapping in his mouth. And that was great. I loved Shockey. He would just bark at all the guys. Some defenders were scared to tackle him. Others just didn't even bother. They just got the hell out of his way. And that's the type of tight end that I grew up watching. Now, the other guys, the more older Giants fans, you guys had, your Mark Bavaro, your Howard Cross. He had those guys. The newer generation, unfortunately, you grew up watching Evan Engram. Now, Evan Engram was supposed to be a very good tight end for us. Jerry Reese and company drafted him out of Ole Miss. I believe he was a second-round pick, if I'm not mistaken. We had a lot of high hopes for him. He was very, very fast, very talented with the ball in his hands, could run out of the backfield if he wanted to. More so like a hybrid type of tight end, kind of like an Aaron Hernandez, minus all the shootings and killings. But he did not pan out the way that we all expected him to and hoped that he would. He had terrible hands. A lot of Eli Manning's late career interceptions were on the off the fingertips of Evan Engram. Same goes with Daniel Jones. Evan Engram constantly fumbled the ball. He constantly had the ball on the ground. Dropped easy passes in key moments. My fondest memory of Evan Engram, or my least fondest, I'd say, was against the Eagles. I believe it was a Thursday night game. All we had to do was get a first down to close it out, and winning that game would have eventually ended up in the playoffs, and we wouldn't have to worry about Doug Peterson and company tanking the last game of the year against the Washington Redskins. But that ball went right through his hands. It was a perfect drop dime from Danny Dimes, and Evan Engram could not come up with it. So now Evan Engram is a Jacksonville Jaguar. He wanted to bet on himself in free agency, and that is totally okay. I am glad he is no longer part of the Giants football team, and I wish him best of luck. Not really, but whatever. So, tight end. Speaking of tight end, we did draft one. His name is Daniel Bellinger, and this is what the video is about. Daniel Bellinger came out of the University of San Diego State. He was a very, very good blocker in college. That's what he was drafted upon. Very good pass blocker, very good run blocker. Pretty underrated with catching the ball. But he says he's working on it, and he says he's a lot better catcher than people give him credit for. And I'm all for that. Now, the key thing is Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen. They drafted him. They knew a lot about him. They did their due diligence on this guy. They know all his ins and outs, his characteristics, on and off the field, and so forth. This guy, guys, I'm telling you right now, I truly believe this guy is our next franchise tight end. This guy is just it. He has it. When you watch him on tape, on game film, practice film, whatever, he has it. I don't know what that is, but he has it. He's got very good hands. He's got very good blocking skills that should benefit Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley and Matt Breida in the long run. He is also a very good route runner. For being not an underrated pass catcher, he can run routes very well. And that's what Daniel Jones or any quarterback on our team in the future needs. They need that security blanket, especially on those third downs when the defense is going to be blitzing and applying pressure to the quarterback. Daniel Jones is not going to have much time to throw. Yes, I know our offensive line probably did get a lot better than it has in the past, but it's still a work in progress. Some of the veterans are very old and injury prone, and the rookies are still rookies. So, granted, it is a lot better, but it's still a work in progress, and we really don't know what it's going to look like come week one. But having a good tight end back there that knows the quarterback's instincts, knows the cadence as well, that is just a huge thing to have on a team, especially with a young offensive mind, head coach Brian Daboll, who has a lot of faith in this guy, a lot of confidence. Daniel Bellinger is working with the first team offense quite often in OTA practice and minicamp. So again, like I said before in the video about Kayvon Thibodeaux, expect this rookie class to get early and often action. Just like Wan'Dale Robinson, just like Kayvon Thibodeaux, just like even Cordell Flott. Expect Daniel Bellinger to get working with the offense come week one, early and often. This guy's a very underrated pass catcher, and I think this guy will be our next future franchise tight end. I just really do. The measurables, they add up. Very similar height and weight to Travis Kelce. He might be a little bit faster than Kelce. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and look at the measurements. But ideal body frame for a tight end. And, you know, if he has the ideal measurables, he just got to put the work together and just work on his craft. And him and Daniel Jones are forming a very good budding relationship. They're working late after practice on the side. I heard Daniel's working on the jugs machine after practice as well. He's going to be one of Daniel Jones' favorite targets. Him and Ricky Seals-Jones, the two tandem tight end team. I think it's going to work out great this year for us. And I think he's going to learn a lot behind Ricky Seals-Jones, as well as working with Coach Daboll. And yeah, I just like this guy a lot. I'm just watching more and more film on him every day, and this guy seems to be the next franchise tight end for us. Anyway, guys, that's all I have for this morning. It's getting there, man. It's getting to that grind. We just gotta keep grinding out. Almost August. We got a couple, maybe a month and a half left till training camp begins, and then that's when the fun starts. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your day. Before I end this video, I had one guy, I'm not going to call him out, his name at least. I had one guy in my last video says he was a first-time watcher and that he will never watch again because I wished everyone to stay safe and healthy. He was blaming it on the COVID stuff. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the COVID stuff too. I think a lot of that shit's kind of overblown. But yes, it's still around and people have died. But for you to yell at me for wishing my watchers, my subscribers, or whatever you guys are, fans, for you to yell at me and call me out because I'm wishing everyone to stay safe and healthy when there's shootings going on and all that other crazy stuff in the world, you got a problem, man, and you need to look yourself in the mirror and check yourself. Anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will say it again, stay safe, stay healthy, and as always, let's go G-Men.